Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay locked in for more real, raw stories like this one. That was the very first thing I heard her say. My wife, Maya, right before the night everything shattered. It wasn't even aimed at me. Her voice drifted through the conference hall speakers, playful and teasing, brimming with a confidence I hadn't heard from her in what felt like forever. I stood frozen at the entrance, one hand still wrapped around the door handle, as laughter rolled across the room. This was supposed to be a formal work event, a polished celebration of the firm's yearly achievements. Yet there she was, slightly drunk, standing on stage, phone raised high while filming a live stream, her cheeks glowing with a mix of excitement and alcohol. I hadn't planned to be there. She told me it would be dull, that I'd hate every minute, that she'd be late anyway. But earlier, her co-worker Daniel had called, his voice quiet and uneasy. Man, you should come. Something isn't right. He didn't go into detail. He didn't have to. I'd already felt the shift, the hesitation in her voice, the distance in her embrace, the silence stretching longer between her words. So I showed up, and the second I stepped inside, everything that once felt solid began to fracture. The lights were low, streaked with neon blues and purples dancing across the floor. People clutched glasses, swayed to music, laughed like nothing in the world could touch them. But attention kept drifting toward one corner of the stage, toward Maya, and she wasn't by herself. A man stood behind her, far too close. His arm grazed hers. He leaned in to murmur something into her ear. She let out a laugh, free, indulgent, almost careless. A laugh I hadn't heard in years. One that used to belong only to me. My heart slammed against my chest. My throat tightened as I stepped forward without thinking. Pain coiled inside me. Maya, someone shouted from the crowd. Show us the kiss again. The kiss again. Those words hit like a punch. Cold rushed through my veins. Before I could push through the crowd, the volume in the room swelled. Her live stream appeared on the massive screen overhead, replaying a moment caught only minutes before. There she was, my wife, leaning into the same man, now standing too close behind her. His hand rested on her waist, her lips pressed against his. Not a careless peck, not a sloppy mistake. It was slow, deliberate, intimate. There was no room for denial. This wasn't confusion. This was betrayal. Cheers erupted. Someone whistled. The man grinned. And Maya, my Maya, looked anything but ashamed. She looked exhilarated. The world blurred as I moved toward the stage. My heartbeat drowned out the music. Voices faded into distant noise. Her eyes scanned the room until they found me. I watched the shift in her face. Confusion, then dread, then guilt. Not regret, just fear of being exposed. Ethan, she breathed, stumbling down from the stage. The boldness in her posture evaporated instantly. You're here. Yeah, I replied, my voice calm than I felt. Seems like I came at the perfect time. The man she'd kissed, Tom, her department lead, raised a brow but didn't bother stepping away. His arrogance clung to him like an overpowering cologne. It's nothing, Maya rushed, gripping my arm. Just a stupid dare. I didn't mean what? I cut in softly. The kiss? Or the part where you enjoyed it? Her lips parted, then closed again. Tom scoffed. Relax, man. It's just a party. She's allowed to have a little fun. I looked from him back to her. Is that what this is? Fun. Her breathing hitched. Ethan, please. Can we just talk outside? No, I said flatly. We'll talk right here. People had turned fully toward us now. Whispers floated around, feeding on the tension. But I wasn't here to preserve appearances. I wasn't here to play the forgiving husband. I was here because the woman I loved had just shattered my heart in front of everyone. Maya, I said more quietly, my tone sharp with control. How long? She blinked. How long what? How long have you been cheating on me? Her lower lip trembled. She said nothing. And in that silence, I got the only answer I needed. The quiet that followed screamed louder than anything she could have said. Something inside me snapped, like a rope finally giving out under too much strain. When I spoke again, my voice was distant, eerily steady. I'm done. Her eyes widened. Done? Ethan, no, this isn't what you think. Please, you're misunderstanding. I watched the video. I heard them cheering for an encore. I'm not confused, I said, jaw clenched. She reached for my hands. I pulled away. Her face crumpled as panic took hold. You can't just leave, she whispered. We're married. I corrected. We were married until tonight. Her breath faltered. Let me explain, she begged. This year's been hard. Work, your hours. Everything felt so far apart, and I thought cheating would somehow fix it. Tears spilled down her face. For a split second, the space around me felt too tight, too heavy. I almost broke, almost softened, almost stepped forward to comfort her, like I always had. But then I remembered her laugh on that stage, the light in her eyes. She hadn't stumbled into this. She chose it, again and again. The pain surged through my chest, sharp enough to make me dizzy, but I forced myself to stand taller. I wouldn't let her twist the narrative. Not tonight. This ending would be mine. I raised my voice just enough for everyone to hear. The same crowd that had recorded, cheered, and clapped for her betrayal. Maya, I said, I truly hope he was worth our marriage. A heavy silence blanketed the room. She gasped, her face crumpling even more. Ethan, please. But I stepped back, turned around, and walked away. The cold night air struck my skin as I exited, sharp and unforgiving. My legs shook as I reached the parking lot. I braced myself against my car, breathing in jagged gulps. My world felt splintered, memories, promises, laughter, vows, reduced to fragments. My phone buzzed relentlessly. Her name flashed again and again. Texts, calls, apologies, panic. I didn't pick up once. Because somewhere between the heartbreak and the chaos, something unfamiliar began to take root. A strange, bitter sense of power. For the first time in what felt like forever, I felt free. Shattered, yes. Wrecked, absolutely. But free. I slid into the driver's seat, hands trembling as I stared down at the wheel. And then the tears came, hot, heavy, unstoppable. They poured out with every memory and every promise that had meant something. But they didn't last forever. Beneath the sorrow, something stronger started to rise. Clarity, resolve, strength. She didn't just end our marriage tonight. She ended her place in my life. And I wasn't about to spend another second chasing love she handed so easily to someone else. I turned the key, the engine humming to life. As I pulled away, her name lit up my screen again and again, fading further with every mile. And even though my heart cracked with each vibration, I kept driving, because this wasn't only the night I uncovered her betrayal. It was the night I took myself back. The night I chose my own dignity. The night I ended it all on my terms.